The Vanishing of Flight 370, a real-life horror story. On a quiet night in March 2014, a plane carrying 239 souls vanished into thin air. No distress calls, no wreckage, no explanation. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 was gone, leaving behind only questions and a chilling mystery that haunts us to this day. This is the story of Flight 370, a real-life horror story that defies all logic and reason. Flight MH370 departed Kuala Lumpur at 12:41 a.m., bound for Beijing. The passengers boarded, the engines roared to life, and the plane ascended into the night sky. For the first 40 minutes, everything was normal. Then, at 1:19 a.m., the crew made their final communication. "Good night, Malaysian 370. And just like that, the plane vanished. But this was no ordinary disappearance. Military radar revealed something far more sinister. The plane made a sharp, unexplained turn, veering off its intended path. It flew over the Malay Peninsula, crossed the Strait of Malacca, and then nothing. The last satellite signal was detected at 8:11 a.m., hours after the plane should have run out of fuel. Where did it go? And why? The search for MH370 began immediately. Teams from 26 countries scoured the South China Sea, then the Indian Ocean. They used every tool at their disposal: sonar, underwater drones, satellite imagery. But the ocean kept its secrets. Over 3 years, they searched 120,000 square kilometers of ocean floor. They found 27 pieces of debris, but the main wreckage was never located. In 2024, a private company resumed the search, but as of March 2025, the plane remains lost. It's as if the ocean swallowed it whole, leaving no trace behind. The disappearance of MH370 has spawned countless theories, each more chilling than the last. Let's explore the most haunting possibilities. Some believe the captain intentionally crashed the plane. Investigators found that his home flight simulator had plotted a similar route to the Indian Ocean. But why would he do it? And what drove him to such a dark act? Others suggest the plane was hijacked or sabotaged. The sudden loss of communication and the disabling of the transponder, it all point to human intervention. But who would do this? And what was their motive? Some even whisper of government conspiracies, though these remain unproven. Could a catastrophic mechanical failure have caused the crash? A fire, perhaps? Or an electrical failure that incapacitated the crew? It's possible, but unlikely given the plane's advanced systems. Still, the thought of a plane flying on autopilot, with no one at the controls, is deeply unsettling. The most widely accepted theory is that the plane ran out of fuel and crashed into the southern Indian Ocean. Satellite data and debris drift patterns support this, but without the black boxes, we may never know for sure. It's a theory that offers some closure but no real answers. Behind the mystery are the 239 lives lost and the families left behind. For over a decade, they have sought answers and closure. Grace Nathan, whose mother was on the flight, said, "We just want to know where it is and what happened." The pain of not knowing is unimaginable. Many families have criticized the Malaysian government for its handling of the investigation, accusing officials of withholding information. Their grief has fueled a relentless quest for truth, inspiring documentaries, books, and even crowdsourced search efforts. But for now, the truth remains out of reach. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 is a tragedy wrapped in mystery. Despite years of searching and countless theories, the truth remains elusive. Was it a deliberate act, a mechanical failure, or something else entirely? Until the wreckage is found, we may never know. But one thing is certain: the story of MH370 will continue to haunt us, a reminder of how fragile our understanding of the world can be. What do you think happened to Flight 370? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries. But the worst isn't over yet. What you're about to witness next will truly haunt you. The Vanishing of Amelia Earhart, a mystery that still haunts the world. In 1937, Amelia Earhart, one of the most famous aviators in history, set out to achieve the impossible, to fly around the world. But on July 2nd, somewhere over the vast Pacific Ocean, she vanished without a trace. No wreckage, no distress signals, just silence. To this day, her disappearance remains one of the greatest mysteries of the 20th century. What really happened to Amelia Earhart? And why has she never been found? Amelia Earhart was no stranger to danger. She had already made history as the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. But her 1937 flight around the world was her most ambitious journey yet. With her navigator, Fred Noonan, she set off from Miami, Florida, on June 1st, determined to circle the globe. By July 2nd, they were nearing the end of their journey. Their destination was Howland Island, a tiny speck in the Pacific Ocean. But as they approached, something went terribly wrong. Radio transmissions from Earhart grew faint and frantic. She reported low fuel and an inability to locate the island. And then, silence. The U.S. Navy launched an immediate search covering over 250,000 square miles of ocean. But despite their efforts, no trace of Earhart, Noonan, or their plane was ever found. It was as if they had been swallowed by the sea. The search for Amelia Earhart was one of the most extensive in history. The U.S. Navy and Coast Guard scoured the Pacific for weeks but found nothing. Over the years, countless expeditions have followed, each hoping to solve the mystery. But the vastness of the ocean and the lack of concrete clues have made the search nearly impossible. In 2019, a team claimed to have found debris matching Earhart's plane near Nicomaroro Island, but the evidence remains inconclusive. To this day, the fate of Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan remains a mystery. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart has spawned countless theories, each more chilling than the last. Let's explore the most haunting possibilities. The most widely accepted theory is that Earhart's plane ran out of fuel and crashed into the Pacific Ocean. The vastness of the ocean and the lack of wreckage make this theory plausible, but it offers little closure. Some believe Earhart and Noonan landed on Nicomaroro Island and survived for a time as castaways. Artifacts like a shoe heel and a jar of freckle cream have been found on the island, but none definitively linked to Earhart. A more controversial theory suggests Earhart was captured by the Japanese, who believed she was spying for the U.S. Some claim she was taken to Saipan and executed, but there's no concrete evidence to support this. For the more imaginative, there are theories involving aliens or even time travel. While these are entertaining, they remain firmly in the realm of science fiction. Behind the mystery are the lives of two brave adventurers. Amelia Earhart was a trailblazer, a symbol of courage and determination. Her disappearance left a void in the world of aviation and in the hearts of those who admired her. Her husband, George Putnam, spent years searching for answers, but died without ever knowing the truth. Earhart's legacy lives on, inspiring generations of aviators and adventurers. But the question remains, what really happened to her? The disappearance of Amelia Earhart is a mystery that continues to captivate and haunt us. Was it a tragic accident, a daring survival story, or something more sinister? Until the wreckage is found, we may never know. But one thing is certain: the story of Amelia Earhart will continue to inspire and mystify us, a reminder of the dangers and wonders of the skies. What do you think happened to Amelia Earhart? Share your thoughts in the comments below. As horrifying as that was, the next story takes terror to another level. Germanwings Flight 9525, the deliberate crash that shocked the world. On March 24, 2015, Germanwings Flight 9525 took off from Barcelona, Spain, bound for Düsseldorf, Germany. But just 30 minutes into the flight, something went horribly wrong. The plane began a rapid descent, crashing into the French Alps. All 150 people on board were killed. What followed was a chilling revelation. This was no accident. It was a deliberate act that shook the world to its core. Flight 9525 was a routine flight operated by Germanwings, a budget airline owned by Lufthansa. The plane was carrying 144 passengers and 6 crew members. The captain, Patrick Sondenheimer, was an experienced pilot, and the co-pilot, Andreas Lubitz, had logged over 600 flight hours, but beneath the surface something was terribly wrong. The flight began normally, but as the plane reached cruising altitude, the captain left the cockpit to use the restroom. Moments later, the co-pilot locked the cockpit door and initiated a controlled descent. The captain tried desperately to regain access, pounding on the door and shouting, but Lubitz remained silent. The final moments of the flight were captured on the cockpit voice recorder. The captain's voice grew increasingly frantic as the plane descended. Passengers screamed in the background, but Lubitz said nothing. The plane crashed into the French Alps at 430 miles per hour, killing everyone on board instantly. The investigation into the crash was swift and shocking. The cockpit voice recorder revealed that Lubitz had deliberately crashed the plane. But why? As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered a disturbing truth. Andreas Lubitz had a history of severe depression and had been treated for suicidal tendencies. He had hidden his condition from his employer, fearing it would end his career. In the days leading up to the crash, he had researched suicide methods and cockpit security protocols. It was a premeditated act of horror. The Germanwings crash sparked a global debate about mental health, pilot screening, and airline safety protocols. Let's explore the key controversies. Why wasn't Lubitz's mental health condition detected? Airlines rely on pilots to self-report medical issues, but Lubitz hid his illness. Should airlines implement stricter mental health screenings, or would that discourage pilots from seeking help? After 9/11, cockpit doors were reinforced to prevent hijackings, but in this case, the secure door became a death trap. Should there be exceptions to the rule allowing access in emergencies, or would that compromise security? Lubitz's doctors knew about his condition but were bound by patient confidentiality. Should doctors be required to report potentially dangerous patients to authorities, or would that violate privacy rights? Behind the controversy are the 150 lives lost and the families left behind. The victims came from 18 countries, including 16 high school students returning from an exchange program. Their deaths left a void that can never be filled. The families of the victims have called for stricter regulations and better mental health support for pilots. But for many, the pain of losing a loved one in such a senseless act is unbearable. As one family member said, "We will never understand why this happened." The crash of Germanwings Flight 9525 is a tragedy that continues to haunt us. It's a stark reminder of the importance of mental health and the need for better safeguards in aviation. But it's also a story of resilience, as the victims' families fight for change to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. What do you think could have been done to prevent this tragedy? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Thank you for unlocking another tale from the Vault of Tales. Like, share, and subscribe for more immersive journeys. Let us know your thoughts in the comments.